most animals know that if a giraffe were to take off running, they should probably also take off running.
Oh, look, it's good.
Look at here. Now here is the stick. Huh?
So just like that okapi we saw earlier, giraffes have those long, purple, prehensile tongues that help them to reach high food, just like branches and leaves. Now those tongues are indeed so long that if they really wanted to, they could lick their eyeball.
So you can't have it all. And it'd probably be the skinny one. It's gonna be like Ryan's. Big eyebrows like Ryan.
If you look way back there on the left, you're going to see some wild African dogs.
Oh yeah, down there.
Scooch around this big rock. They're all the way back there against that wall.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And they are also known as painted dogs because of their beautifully painted coats. And they may look cute, but they are known as one of the most vicious hunters along the savannah. Now they do usually feed their weakest or their eldest first, whereas a lot of different packs will usually feed their strongest first. Now if you keep looking over there in that shrubbery, you're going to see those antlers, those horns. Those guys are sable antelope.
Over there.
Now they are the symbol for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you couldn't tell, they are a reddish brown color, but they do continuously get darker as they continue to get older. Now these mounds around us are termite mounds. Termites make them as hard as concrete, using dirt, saliva, and dung. Now they are so hard that lots of animals like to use them as the occasional back scratcher. Now adult male giraffe can be as tall as 20 feet. Babies are usually born at around 6 feet tall. Now moms do usually give birth standing up. So the first thing most babies experience is a 6-foot drop to the ground.
Hello, giraffe.
Looks like this one has like a ride on it.
And we do call a group of giraffe a tower. Giraffes will usually only sleep for about 30 minutes a day. And they will occasionally break that up into 5-minute naps throughout their day.
Charlie, come here, man.
And a few more of those babies right there by that tree. And that guy walking way back there is a wildebeest, and you can't see him. Now wildebeest do have scent glands by their eyes and on their hooves. And those scent glands do help them to be able to follow their herd as they migrate. Now we're going to see some more giraffe over there by those trees. And if you notice, to the left of them are some Nkole cattle. We're going to creep up here and see them a little bit better. Now those cattle are also known as Watusi cattle because they were first domesticated by the Watusi tribe. That's a really good view of one over there by those giraffes. Now those horns look very large. They do get as long as the cows are tall. However, they are very hollow inside. They have a honeycomb structure. Helps the cows to circulate their blood, which of course helps to cool them down. So those horns are actually very, very light. They're usually around about 5 pounds each. Now if you keep looking to the right as we creep up here, you're going to see a rather large friend.
Look.
cute.
Now, elephants do like to fan their ears like that as a way to cool down.
Oh. Where are you going?
Now, by fanning their ears, it does help their blood to circulate, as they do have veins behind their ears, which of course helps to cool them down. Now when they do that, they can usually cool themselves down about 15 degrees. Now unfortunately, elephants are experiencing habitat loss. People are mining in elephant habitats for a mineral that we use in our electronic devices. The good news is that mineral can be reused. So simply by recycling any old devices we have, we can reuse that mineral, which will help limit mining and will help save elephant homes. Now we know that male elephant are usually pretty solitary. They typically like to spend a lot of their free time alone. The females and the youngs will like to hang out within a herd. So maybe if we travel a bit further, we can try to find a herd. We are driving around these red clay pits, and if you did not already know, elephants do eat red clay. Provides them lots of nutrients and minerals they usually don't find in their regular diet. Now those test marks and hoof prints tell us that it seems like there might have been some elephant traveling through recently. And as we creep forward on the left there, you're going to see some. Now we are going to drive around and get a better view up ahead in the clearing, but you can make her out a little bit. Now the females do typically remain pregnant for about 22 months. And elephants do have the second longest childhood, usually staying with mom for about 13 to 15 years of their life. Now the males are usually kicked out first and to live on their own for a while until they find their own herds. Now if you can look at one of their ears, you can see that their ear kind of looks like the outline of Africa. Now that is one way we can tell that they are African elephant. The other way we can tell is, well, because we are in Africa. Now they may not look like it, but elephants are wonderful swimmers. They do very much love to swim and play in the water as another way to keep cool. Over here we are going to find a flock of greater flamingo. They are greater just because they are the largest of the flamingos. They are also the lightest shade of pink. Now flamingos are not born pink, they're born gray. They do later develop their pink color from eating a lot of shrimp.
We saw going for a walk yesterday.
They don't quack.
Just walking through the country. I literally just took them all for a walk.
I like the shirt. Yeah, from Mobile.
Now sometimes we can find rhinos around giant mud pits like these. Rhinos love to roll around in the mud. Helps cool them off. Also provides a nice barrier sunblock, help protect them against the sun. Way down there on the right, you're going to see some white rhinos. We are going to creep around and try to get them from a better view. Now, it's safe to assume they're white rhinos, as white rhinos are pretty social. They like to spend time with one another, hang out in a crash. Whereas black rhinos are very, very solitary. They do not like other animals or even each other. You can also easily tell them apart by the shape of their mouths. White rhinos have very broad, square-like mouths, whereas black rhinos have a prehensile upper lip. Very easy to tell them apart.
Oh, that's big.
We're going to keep our eyes open. Sometimes we can find a couple of different types of animals running around this area.
Oh, there's a cheetah. There is a cheetah.
Looks like way back there. You'll see one kind of closer to us, and then you'll see two way back there in the trees.
There's two right in the
Those
trees.
are cheetahs. Kind of just looks like a spotted log. Sometimes you can't tell they're there until you just see their tail. Cheetahs are daytime predators. They do like to be out and about during the daytime hunting for their food. Unlike some other of our big cat friends who much prefer to be more active during the nighttime, just like that big guy right up there. Now, he's laying on what we call copies. Those are copy rocks.
There's Simba up there.
Now, they're pretty inactive for about 16 to 20 hours a day. Usually saving all of their energy for nighttime when they can go out and hunt for food. And the females like to do the majority of the hunting, where the male will typically stay back, guard their territory, take care of their cubs. But those little guys laying down right there are Bontebok. Bontebok is Afrikaans for patchwork buck.
See him? So there's rhinos over there?
So much to look at.
Those lions could be jackpot. What do you think?
Blaze.
What do we do?
Now, if you look all the way back there behind that tree, kind of where it starts to become a hill, you can see some warthogs.
You see him?
They kind of look like fuzzy rocks. You might be able to see their tusk a little bit better. They're just laying down back there. Now, warthogs are up and about. They're pretty light on their feet. Kind of look like they're bouncing around. When they're alert, they'll run around with their tails pointed straight up in the air. It kind of looks like a panicked antenna running around. Way back there, you're going to see that crash of white rhinos.
Hey, look, get up.
And they do come in at about 5,000 pounds. As you can see, they got pretty square, broad-like mouths. Now, their name comes from the word bite, which means broad. Now, rhinos don't see very well. They can roughly see about 5 to 10 feet in front of them. They usually can charge at about 35 miles an hour.
There's a warthog on the ground.
You can kind of see those warthogs a little bit better right there. Now, when a rhino gets startled, they will just immediately start charging if they get too scared. And since they can't see in front of them, they just kind of run into anything. That's what makes them pretty dangerous. And we are making our way through the Magadi Glen. The Magadi Glen's not really home to any animal. There's some animals occasionally travel through, just like we're doing. Now, unfortunately, I don't notice any fellow travelers today. But there is always next time.
You ever have any
And as we do prepare to approach the outskirts of the village, do know that just because our journey's coming to an end doesn't mean yours has to.
You can still
And you can take that short train ride on over to Rafiki's Planet Watch, where they have a petting zoo. And they have their new animation experience. They teach you how to draw a character. And even if you're not a good drawer, it's very interactive, pretty fun. Usually the drawings turn out pretty well. And you can also travel the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, where they do have those gorillas, as well as meerkats, zebras, and even much more. And you absolutely travel that at your own pace, so you can stop and take as many photos for as long as you want. As we approach the station, please grab